Alright, last time we broke down why Skibidi Toilet, yes, the brain rot meme, is secretly a work of genius. So here's the part I held back while talking about the previous video. The reason behind why brain rot content like that is so impossible to stop watching. It's not a coincidence. It's chemistry, specifically your brain chemistry. And right now, there are trillion-dollar companies who know exactly how to exploit it. This is the dark truth about dopamine. And by the end of this video, you will never look at your phone the same way again. Let's start with what dopamine actually is, because most people have this completely wrong. Dopamine is not the pleasure chemical. That's the myth that gets repeated everywhere. What dopamine actually does is create wanting. It's the chemical of craving, of anticipation, of just one more video, one more scroll, one more notification. Here's the key thing to understand. Dopamine doesn't fire after you get something good. It fires before, during the chase. That itch you feel to check your phone when it buzzes, that's dopamine. The excitement before you open a package, dopamine. The urge to keep scrolling even when nothing interesting is actually happening, you guessed it. Dopamine, it's not rewarding you, it's driving you. And that distinction, that's everything. Because the people who built your apps figured this out a long time ago. So here's where the dark psychology comes in. There's a concept in neuroscience called the variable reward schedule. It was first studied by psychologist Burgess Frederick Skinner in experiments with rats. He found something fascinating. The most addictive reward pattern wasn't giving rats food every time they pressed a lever. It was giving them food sometimes, randomly, unpredictably. The uncertainty alone made the rats unable to stop pressing. Sound familiar? When you open YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, sometimes you get something hilarious. Sometimes it's boring. You never know which one is coming next. That unpredictability is a variable reward schedule, and your brain responds to it the exact same way that rat responded to its lever. It cannot stop. Now here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. This isn't a design flaw, it's a feature. The engineers who built these platforms specifically study the psychology of addiction and intentionally built this mechanism into your feed. Former Google design ethicist Tristan Harris once said,
"A handful of people working at a handful of technology companies, through their choices, will steer what a billion people are thinking today."
Not by accident, by design. Before we go deeper into what this is actually doing to your brain and how you can start taking back control, if this is hitting home for you, give this video a like and subscribe. It means a lot to know this is landing. Now, back to what's happening inside your head. Here's what most people never realize about dopamine addiction. Every time you get a hit from a quick stimulating piece of content, your brain quietly recalibrates. It raises the bar. It now needs more stimulation to feel the same level of satisfaction. Scientists call this dopamine downregulation. Think of it like this. Imagine you've been eating increasingly spicy food every single day for a year. At first, a mild chili feels intense, but after months of ghost peppers, that mild chili doesn't even register anymore. Your threshold has shifted. That is exactly what is happening to your dopamine system every time you binge shorts or reels. The result? Real life starts to feel gray. Reading a book feels impossible. A long conversation feels slow. Deep work feels unbearable. You find yourself reaching for your phone not because you actually want to, but because your brain is now physically uncomfortable without that stimulation. And here's the thing most people miss. That is not a personality flaw. That is not laziness. That is a manufactured addiction. And the people who manufactured it, they know. Let's sit with that for a second. Because this isn't just about willpower or self-discipline. The system was designed to be stronger than your willpower. Social media platforms are built around what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the same psychological principle behind slot machines. You don't know when the next great post is coming. So you keep pulling the lever, and the longer you pull, the more data they collect on exactly which version of the variable reward keeps you specifically hooked. Your feed is a personalized addiction engine. Former Facebook president Sean Parker admitted this in an interview. He said, and I'm quoting directly, How do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible? That was the explicit design goal. Not to connect people, not to entertain you, to consume your attention. Because your attention is the product being sold to advertisers. You're not the customer, you're the inventory. If you think you are trapped and wonder how can you escape this, don't worry, there's a concept called the dopamine detox. The idea is straightforward. By deliberately reducing your exposure to high stimulation content, you give your brain's dopamine system time to recalibrate back to its natural baseline. You lower the threshold. And when you do, something remarkable happens. Ordinary life starts to feel good again. A walk outside, a proper conversation, a book. They don't feel boring anymore. They feel like enough. However, you don't need to go cold turkey and sit in an empty room staring at the wall. Here's a realistic starting point. Step 1. No phone for the first 30 minutes after waking up and the last 30 minutes before bed. These are the 2 windows where your brain is most vulnerable to dopamine-seeking behavior. Protect them. Step 2. Add 1 low-stimulation hour into your day. No shorts, no reels, no social feed. Read, walk, cook, journal. Anything that doesn't deliver an instant hit. Your brain will resist this at first. That resistance is the addiction. Push through it. Step 3. Do 1 full detox day per week. Completely cut short-form content for 1 day. By the 3rd week, that urge will be noticeably weaker as the threshold wanting that has started to drop. The goal isn't to live like a monk. The goal is to put you back in the driver's seat. Because right now, your dopamine system is making your choices for you. Before I end it here, here's what I want you to take away from this. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You've probably been told, directly or indirectly, that the way you feel is just who you are. But the truth is, your brain has been systematically programmed by people who profit from your inability to stop scrolling. That's not a personal failing, it's a designed system, and knowing it exists is the first step to escaping it. The next time you feel that restless itch, that uncomfortable craving to reach for your phone even though there's nothing you actually need to check, recognize it for what it is. That's dopamine talking, not you. So tell me, have you ever tried a dopamine detox? Did it actually work? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And if this one hit differently, hit like and subscribe, because next time we're going even deeper into the system quietly running your life and how to take them back. Thanks for watching.